All right, sixth graders, please hang with me today. It's going to be a little bit tricky, but I think you can do it. So we're going to use decimals today and to write percents as fractions and fractions as percents. So the first thing you need to know, to write a percent as a fraction, we can use the decimal form of the percent, which we just worked on yesterday, and place value, which is why I'm always saying not point, but and something else, or 24 hundredths, or things like that, because I want you to get used to the place value to write the fraction. So first of all, real quick review of place value. I think you all know we have like hundreds, tens, ones, and then we have a decimal here, which we always say and with, right? And then we have tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, right? If we wanted to go on and on and on. 100,000ths, millionths, you get the idea. So we call them tenths because they're out of 10. We call them hundredths because they're out of 100. We call them thousandths because they're out of 1,000. We call them 10,000ths because they're out of 10,000. So you can see how we are going to write fractions using that decimal form. So we would write the percent as a decimal. Then we would write the fraction using place value. And then we're going to simplify if necessary. So if I asked you or told you to write 40% as a fraction, step one, to write it as a decimal. Remember, we're moving to the left 2 places. So we have 0.4. We don't need to continue on with that 0. You could. We would read this as 4 tenths. So 4 tenths is 4 out of 10. And then we would simplify, because they're both even, to 2 fifths. All right, I know that's a lot of steps, but you gotta hang with it. You can totally do this. So if I was asking you to write these percents as a fraction, 54% and 8% and 160%. Let's try these. So if we're writing these as a decimal, we're moving it over to 1, 2, right? 1, 2. That's where our decimal is going to go. So that becomes 54 hundredths. This becomes 8 hundredths. And this becomes 1 and 6 tenths. So remember, I'm looking at tenths, hundredths, so I'm saying the number 54, and then I'm saying the place value, hundredths. I'm saying the number 8, and then I'm seeing the place value, which is once again hundredths. I'm saying the number 1 and, so I have a mixed number, right? 1 and 6 tenths. So now I just have to simplify. So you'll be dividing things by 2. Divided by 2. I broke under the division symbol. Alright, so you have 27 and 50. You have 4 and 50. Oh, we could have taken an 4 out of those, I guess. So we're going to divide by 2 again. Gives you 2 25ths. And this is 1 and 3/5. Alright, so that is percents, rating them as fractions. So make sure you watch the next video. I'm going to separate it for you, fractions as percents.